Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Central Coast Center for Spiritual Living Love Stream. We're so excited that you joined us today, and I would love for you to share this video right now, this love stream, with your Facebook group. Start a watch party. Bring some people in that you love, because we're here to love them up. So I'm excited about that. Reverend Elizabeth will be joining us very shortly. In the meantime, please enjoy our guest musician coming to us from Columbus, Ohio. It's Jessie Powers. So take it away, Jessie.
Hello, good morning. I'm so excited to be joining you all. And I know it's long distance. I'm over on the East Coast. It's such a long distance, but I can feel the love all the way over here, and I hope you can feel it all the way over there. And today I'm very excited about being alive, and I hope you'll celebrate that with me. Right now, this is an easy little tune, so just get groovy with it. Okay, ready? Here we go. I woke up this morning grateful as can be. That's how I spend my day, and that's how I sleep. I woke up this morning grateful as can be. That's how I spend my day, and that's how I sleep. I woke up this morning grateful as can be. Sing it! That's how I spend my day, and that's how I sleep. I woke up this morning grateful as can be. That's how I spend my day, and that's how I sleep. 'Cause I love being alive. It's the greatest thing about my life. Oh, I love being alive. It's the greatest thing about my life. And now you wake up joyful. Ready? I woke up this morning joyful as can be. That's how I spend my day, and that's how I sleep. I woke up this morning joyful as can be. That's how I spend my day, and that's how I sleep. You got it? I woke up this morning joyful as can be. That's how I spend my day, and that's how I sleep. One more time. I woke up this morning joyful as can be. That's how I spend my day, and that's how I love being alive. Ready? I love being alive. It's the greatest thing about my life. It's the greatest thing about my life. Oh, I love being alive. It's the greatest thing about my life. Okay, you're gonna know this by the end of today, but I'm a very playful person, okay? And it's very important to me that I wake up playful and I spend my day that way. And even in my dreams, I'm playing in Technicolor Wonderland. So we're gonna sing I Woke Up This Morning, playful as can be. And I want you to sing it as playfully as you can. Don't worry, I'll be right there with you. Ready? I woke up this morning playful as can be. That's how I spend my day, and that's how I sleep. I woke up this morning playful as can be. That's how I spend my day, and that's how I sleep. Meow. I woke up this morning, meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Get it right, and say, I woke up this morning playful as can be. That's how I spend my day, and that's how I sleep. One more time, yeah. I woke up this morning playful as can be. That's how I spend my day, and that's how I sleep. I love being alive. I love being alive. It's the greatest thing about my life. Yeah, I love being alive. It's the greatest thing about my life. Oh, I love being alive. Sing it. It's the greatest thing about my life. Yeah, I love being alive. It's the greatest thing about my life. It's the greatest thing about my life. It's the greatest thing about my life.
awesome. That was
Dance
so
party.
magnificent. Thank you so much, Jessie.
Mhm.
We're so blessed and grateful to have you with us. I love that song.
That was good. Thanks. I'm honored to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anytime. And so, welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Central Coast Center for Spiritual Living, where all that we ask is that you remain open to the possibility of changing your entire life by changing your mind. This service has been designed especially for you. Welcome home. If you'll now take a moment to silence your cell phones. It's like automatic. But we have an affirmation, and I invite you to please repeat after me. I am grounded in the power and presence of life itself.
I am grounded in the power and presence of life itself.
The Oversoul.
The Oversoul.
This is the place from which I live, move, and have my being.
This is the place from which I live, move, and have my being.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Yes. All right, I'll now turn it over to Travis Hogue, who will provide a brief introduction to our musician for today.
Good morning. That's right. My name is Travis Hogue, and I'm the music director here at the Central Coast Center for Spiritual Living. And so I definitely want to give love out to Jessie Powers, and thank you so much for being here. A little bit about Jessie. Jessie Powers is a Southern California, South Carolina native, now living in Columbus, Ohio. Her pop vocal stylings and tumbling melodies, along with her poignant and emotional lyricism, aim to entertain and awaken those who are willing to hear. Her second album, To Remember, drops this year. Oh my gosh. Her social media handle, you can find her on Twitter, Instagram. Social media is at Jessie Powers Music. And her website is jessiepowersmusic.com. With that, we are so grateful to have you here, Jessie. Jessie Powers, everyone.
Thank you, Travis. I'm super grateful to be here. And what I love about Sunday mornings is it's just a time to celebrate who you are, even if you've forgotten over the week that you are that highest divinity expressing through this one beautiful being, personality, body. You can always come home on Sunday and remember and practice doing it throughout the week. So I encourage you to sing with me. I know who I am. I know who I am. I know who I am. Deep down inside, I know who I am. Just that. I know who I am. I know who I am. Deep down inside, I know who I am. I know who I am. I know who I am. Deep down inside, I know who I am. I am open. I am clear. I am listening. I am tender. I am strong. I am surrendering. I of surrendering. I'm surrendering. I am. And one more time, I know who I am. I know who I am. I know who I am. Deep down inside, I know who I am. I know who I am. I know who I am. Deep down inside, I know who I am.
Wow, that was beautiful, Jessie.
Thanks.
Holy smokes. All right. Good morning, CSL. That's right. I am Travis, doubling up as your announcements angel. And today it's birthdays. All right. Hello, happy birthday. I think our musician of the day would love to sing happy birthday to everyone.
Ready?
Take it away, Jessie.
Okay, sing with me. Happy birthday to you.
Whee!
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to you.
Woo!
Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
All right. All right. With that, I would love to read our mission statements. With everything we do, we aim to raise the vibe. We teach innovative spiritual practices and principles that inspire deeper love of self and others, transformation, a closer relationship with God, freedom from suffering, expansive joy, prosperity, and healing of the body, mind, and spirit. We are a conscious group of positive, inspired, spiritually motivated individuals transforming lives. We just happen to have a spiritual center. Want to check us out? Woo! All right. All right. And thank you so much for watching us here on the Love Stream. Please join us for coffee and conversation at 11 a.m. via Zoom. Gina will provide the link in the comment section here. And you can also find it on our center's page, our webpage, in the Coffee and Conversation event under the Events tab. So that's what is that? Immunity, building your immunity with the spiritual community. Yeah, all right. Speaking of that, we build our immunity and spiritual community Monday through Friday, also on Zoom at 1 p.m. For our spiritual community check-in. So if you're watching this love stream, come and join us Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for our Zoom call. You can find the link on our Facebook page under events. That's our daily check-in on Zoom. And check out Travis and Reverend Elizabeth on Facebook Live this Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. for 30 minutes of God time. That's right. It's your date night with God. Our musicians next week, the beautiful Jamie Lula will be with us next week. And then the week after that, Melissa Felipe and Z Eagleoft with the music and message. We are so blessed to have them. Woo! All right. And lastly, if you are able, please remember to continue to donate to our center during this unique time. Our operations are fully supported by your generosity, and we're looking forward to gathering at our physical location in the future. You can donate here on this Facebook Live, either during the Love Stream or on a repeat viewing. You can use the donate button that is there. Gina will also provide the PayPal link to donate in the comments section. You can also visit our landing webpage and click the donate link in the center of the page. That's www.ccccsl.org. And I want to thank you for your consideration. We love you. We appreciate you. We miss you. We're so grateful to be here on this love stream with you. And that, my beloveds, is the announcements.
Woohoo! Thank you. As we get Charlie making his way here for the Science of Mind reading, I want to remind you all that if you have a prayer request, if there's something heavy on your heart for which you would like prayer for, or if there's something you're looking to manifest in your life, you can send an email to info@cccsl.org, and that will get forwarded on to the ecclesiastical team, which is myself, Reverend Elizabeth, and Reverend Diane, our assistant minister, and Maria Bucaro, our licensed practitioner, and we will pray over them for you for the next week. And so we're going to have Charlie do the Science of Mind reading today. Welcome back, Charlie. He's been on retreat for a week, so he's ready to go. And I want to also share that after Charlie does his reading, Gina will be praying this service in. And we originally had our outreach practitioner, Jeffrey Tucker, who was going to pray us in this morning, but he had an emergency situation where he's at that he had to take care of. So please send him love and prayers, and take it away, Charlie.
Good morning, everybody. Well, listen to your heart. And it has taken humanity thousands of years to learn that it has the power to control its own destiny. From the Bible, we have the assurance, as a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. The old Greek philosophers understood something of the meaning of thought. What we expect, said Aristotle, that we find. What we wish, said Demosthenes, that we believe. And Shakespeare is credited with saying, there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. It is one thing to know a principle, another to apply it. Throughout the ages, people have realized that causation is from within. We are thinking, willing, knowing, conscious centers of life. We are surrounded by, immersed in, and there is flowing through us a creative something. Call it what you will. It is the sum total of all thought, with purpose and belief creating a tendency. It is this law that causes it to react to us according to the sum total of that belief. Today, in this moment, the law responds to my thought. My word is one of affirmation, rising from the knowledge that the good, the enduring, and the true are eternalities in my experience. I cannot be separated from that which is my good. My good is assured to me by God, the indwelling essence of my life. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Charlie. Welcome, everybody. If you all just take a moment now and turn within wherever you are, wherever you're watching from, wherever you are in the world, we're all here in the present moment together. And even if you're watching this as a replay, we are still all in this present moment together. There is only one source. Oh, so as I take a deep breath in and just settle into this space, I just know that there is one God, one spirit, one life, one energy, whatever calls to your heart, whatever word you choose to call the thing itself. I just know that it is a loving presence. It is what beats our hearts, keeps us breathing. We don't even have to think about it. And it is what has created everything, even this moment that we are in together. So I just know that this is a blessed moment. I know it's a beautiful, creative space for us to be expanding our love muscle. And that's what we're doing here on this love stream. So I just know that today, the words that are spoken through Reverend Elizabeth as she speaks to us about the seat of our soul, we just take a seat right there, right now, and we commune with our soul as she guides us through the words that Spirit is speaking through her, as her, and this blessed community that we are in together. Oh, it feels so good. I could feel the energy amongst all of you right now, right here with me, and I am with you. So I'm so grateful for this incredible technology, because this technology is Spirit manifesting in a beautiful way. We can't see it and touch the technology, but we can feel it. We could share it. And I'm so blessed to know that we are part of it. So I could just release this prayer knowing that all is done, all is well. And we just anchor our truth together by saying, and so it is.
First of all, I just have to say this. Beautiful. Thank you, Gina. Second of all, I love the abbreviation for your center because it's like see, which is sort of what your soul is trying to tell you all the time. See, S-O. And this song is about letting go and trusting, because your soul is like this superhero that's like running through a crowd of people, and it sees you and you're like kind of in the way, and you're like, oh no, what do I do? And your soul just kind of blows past you and is like, get out of my way, I got this. So you just step back and you just relax and you just trust. Sometimes it feels like my heart is stuck in a revolving door. It can get me down so much I don't even want to mess with it anymore. Ah, that too familiar feeling, oh, I know it well, but I don't let it get too far. No, I'm too good at staying cool now. Yes, I am learning the art, and I'm getting good at letting go, yeah, getting good at giving it over, because I know it ain't in my hands. Yeah, I'm getting good at letting go, yeah, getting good at giving it over, because I know, though I do not understand, my soul's always got something better planned. Hey. When the shadow comes creeping in like a thief from my past, I turn on the light by remembering only my soul knows my path. And I'm getting good at letting go, yeah, getting good at giving it over, because I know that it ain't in my hands. So I'm getting good at letting go, yeah, getting good at giving it over, because I know, though I do not understand, my soul's always got something better planned, and I am unburdened. Yes, I am free when I believe it. If I just keep trusting, if I keep the faith, I know I'll see. When I let go, and I know when I let go, and I know that my soul's always God. Yeah, my soul's always God. Oh, my soul's always God. Something better play. Yeah, baby. Something better is coming along. Sit back, relax, 'cause your soul knows where to go, and it'll tell you so. Something better is coming along. Something better is coming along.
Woo! Wow! Yay! Thank you, Jessie.
You're so welcome.
Oh, you're so amazing. We're so blessed. It's such a pleasure to have you join us. And for those of you who don't know, we were working with Jessie to see if we could get her to come to our center. And so this is a preview. We get to have her online now. So what a blessing and a gift. I just adore you. Thank you.
I'm so honored. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, hello, everybody. Hello. I'm Reverend Elizabeth Rowley, and I am the spiritual director for the Central Coast Center for Spiritual Living. And I am here broadcasting live with my beloved fiance, Travis, who's over on the side. He's the audience of one, the studio audience of one. And we are broadcasting from San Luis Obispo in our condo. And our center is located in Templeton. We're on the central coast of California. And so it's great to be here. I see a lot of people online watching. So we love you. I'm so grateful to see your little icons pop up here and your names. It's powerful, you know. We'd all love to be hugging each other, but this is the virtual hug that we're getting this morning. So we love you. I love you. I'm grateful for all of you. I'm grateful to see Tamara Garino I saw earlier, who is viewing us from Sicily, and I know you're a relative of our beloved Gina. So welcome. Prayerfully you enjoy the service, and good morning, good morning, good morning, all of you. Too many names to name. So it's May 3rd, the first Sunday in May already. This is now our 8th week of broadcasting live, and today we are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. So that's pretty cool. We've come a long way. And the last 2 weeks, I spoke about moving from survival to thrival, or moving from survive mode to thrive mode as we all navigate this pandemic together. And I spoke about there being a huge difference between surviving and thriving. And specifically in the dictionary, it tells us that survive means to live, to continue to live or exist, especially in spite of danger or hardship. Where thrive means to prosper, to be fortunate or successful, to grow or develop vigorously, to flourish. And we looked at the thoughts that we may be having around, well, is it possible to thrive in the midst of a pandemic? And if it's possible, is it okay for me to thrive when others are suffering? And the answer is yes and yes. And I believe, yes, it's possible to thrive if you're able to stay awake in consciousness. And it is more than okay for you to thrive while others are suffering, because we hold multiple realities at once. While we can be thriving and also empathizing with others and considering how we might be of service to others and holding people close to our hearts and being there for our friends and family and even people we don't know as they're grieving. And we can generously share our resources, which during this time, it is unprecedented the way that everybody's coming together to share their resources. And I hear so many individuals talking about how much they would love to see this continue. Well, I changed the verbiage from I will sure hope this continues to how much they would love to see it, because that has a different energy, I believe. We're going to love seeing this continued sharing of resources as we go forward. What a blessing. So the invitation in the last couple of weeks was for you to continue to ask yourself the question, what am I noticing? What am I noticing about myself, about others, about the world around me, about the pandemic, and so forth? Just what am I noticing? And you could even take that into your journaling practice and or bring it to your Zoom check-in calls with us, which, by the way, these daily Zoom check-in calls may not be what you think. So we get on and we start with an opening prayer, and then we have a question and everyone checks in around the question of the day. And then we do a closing prayer, and sometimes we do fun little things. There was a day last week where we did the raise and praise game, where we went around and practiced raising and praising each other in the name of love. And that was pretty cool. I know everybody was really filled up and kind of elevated from that. So that's what we're about. We're raising the vibe. We're elevating. We're elevating ourselves. We're elevating each other, and we're helping to continue to light each other up. Yes?
Yeah.
Amen. And so it is. So now keep keep asking yourself, what am I noticing? And I also want to stress again how important it is for us to feel our feelings. So we've got these feelings coming up and they're intense. They're like way more intensified than they have been because we're here and we're on pause and we've stopped, right? So we've stopped and the only way out of these feelings is to feel them. So feel your way through them. And on the other side of them is your infinite possibility. And then you could step into that ground of pure possibility and infinite potentiality that you know is available to you. But feel those feelings, my friends. And then here is where you can take this and turn it into a powerful tool for yourself and your life. See what thoughts were behind those feelings. What thoughts did you have that created those feelings? Now, it could be thoughts coming in from, we've got input, stimulus coming in from all directions with the news, with our loved ones, with our work, and with communities and whatever's happening, right? So tune into what is the thought that I had that is creating this, or what's happening that's causing this feeling. And once you have identified that, then you can really see, okay, I can turn this around. And so the purpose of tracing your feelings back is to assist you in rising up so that you can thrive. Now, I really believe that your soul did not come here to feel anxious and afraid. Your soul has a divine purpose. Each of us, we all have a divine purpose. We're each called to get our bloated nothingness out of the way to allow the soul to shine its light. And it is bright. I'm telling you, it is so bright. Your soul is shining brightly, but we tend to cover it up. And ways that we cover it up are with feelings of anxiety and negativity and sadness, disenfranchisement, or whatever that is. And it's up to us to turn those around. And so if you are experiencing anxiety, for example, consider the thoughts that are creating the anxiety. And then now, knowing what thoughts created that, you have dominion over that feeling. That feeling no longer has you. It's no longer creating the way that you're moving through the world. You have dominion over this feeling, and you can create a different feeling by changing your thought, or you continue to exacerbate the feelings of anxiety with perpetuating those same thoughts. Are you with me?
I'm with you.
All right. So in our daily Zoom calls, there have been some folks who want to feel less anxious. And so I'm talking to you right now, and everyone who wants to feel less anxious, lean in, because I'm about to give you the key to the kingdom here. All right. Travis is leaning in. Not that close, honey.
Oh, okay.
Oh, man. I know you love us so much. We love you too. So there's got to be an interruption in the thoughts creating the anxiety. There needs to be something that has you stop thinking those thoughts, right? Stop. How is it going to stop? So one thing you can do is pour other thoughts in. As you pour other thoughts into the cup that is your mind, it's like a cup of coffee, First, your coffee is black. You pour it from the pot, right? Black coffee. And then if you want to lighten it up, you'll add some cream, and then the cream makes it a little bit lighter. It's like dark brown, and then you add a little more cream, and now it's tan, and then it's light tan with a little more cream. So first you have anxiety that was created by specific thoughts, which is the black coffee. And then you pour in thoughts which make you glad, thoughts that make you feel happy and sane, thoughts that lift up and light up the world. You begin to think those, and then it becomes so light, just like that cup of coffee is lightened by the cream. Your entire consciousness, your entire being, your thoughtmosphere, the atmosphere of your thought is lightened up. And now you're moving through the world light. There's a sense of levity, and it is as though you're walking through the kingdom of heaven. So join me in that kingdom of heaven, yeah? We're walking through the kingdom of heaven right here. And so all of that, Yay. And so all of that is the introduction to the talk for today, which it's May. So we have a new theme, and that is listen to your heart. And today's topic is seat of the soul. Now, the minister who wrote this is a dear friend of mine. Her name is Reverend Karen Fry, and she was challenged by this topic at first because the topic seemed to be going along the route of soul in a way that Science of Mind doesn't usually talk about soul. And so she took it and ran with it. And so I'm going to share with you in a few minutes here some of the different ideas about soul. And I'll share the Science of Mind definition and then talk a little more about the soul and what each of our little souls are doing right now and wanting. So the month begins with the regrounding and coming back into alignment with our soul, and we're doing that by pouring that cream in the coffee, for example, right? And polishing the mirror. Really, we're polishing it so that we can get back to that pure place within us, the place that knows that God is all that there is, the place that believes that there's only one thing happening here and now, and the place that understands that something wonderful is happening. As I get my bloated nothingness out of the way, I will begin to see it. So we're coming into greater alignment with that. And we are realizing that we have dominion over our lives. We have dominion. I have dominion over my life. Travis, you have dominion in your life. And you have dominion in your life. All of us. And it is from being in right relationship with our soul that our good flows forth into our lives. There is good for you and you ought to have it. And you will have it as you're in alignment with the deepest part of yourself, with your soul, which is the highest and best place within you. And so there are many definitions and perspectives on the soul and what it represents. And I'm going to share some of what the thought teachers were sharing in a Huffington Post article. And actually, I'm going to, rather than share their whole quotes, there's several of them. I'm going to share the key words that jumped out at me, which are pretty common. They create sort of common thread that we can all go with. So we've got Gary Zukov, who says it's the highest, most noble part of yourself. Ian Levanzant, the fingerprint of God. Actually, let me just go through them without saying the names of the authors. So it's the highest, most noble part of yourself, the fingerprint of God, the core of your being. It is the connecting line to God. It's where the Holy Spirit resides, the spiritual essence of who we really are. It is our capacity to see. It's that we're here for a purpose. That there is a purpose for your being here. It's a part of us that never dies. It's who we are at our core. It is your innermost being, the presence, beyond form, consciousness. The indwelling consciousness that watches the mind come and go. It watches the heart come and go. The emotions of the heart. You, the consciousness, the center of your being is soul. It's the birthless, deathless, changeless part of us. It looks out from behind our eyes and has no form. It is infinite. It is the truth of who we are, the light, the love. It is that within us that goes by different names. The Christ, the Buddha mind, the Shekinah, the light, the soul, the divine part of ourself, our divine nature, one with God. The immortal, internal part of ourselves, it never dies. It is immortal. It belongs to God. The essence of who and what we are. It transcends our leaving this mortal coil. Wake up. It's time to wake up, my soul. Don't go back to sleep. Wow. So let me give props to all of the writers in that. So we've got Gary Zukov, Ian Levanzant, Deepak Chopra, Devon Franklin, Sarabhan Brethnock, Daniel Pink, Debbie Ford, Eckhart Tolle, Michael Singer, Wayne Dyer, Marianne Williamson, Llewellyn Vaughan Lee, and Jean Houston. And if you would like a copy of those quotes, they're really good. Let me know and I'll send out a link. You can put something, or maybe I'll send it out in the e-news. Powerful. So Deepak Chopra also tells us that the soul is a confluence of meaning, context, relationships, and archetypal stories. The soul projects the mind and the body. The soul projects the universe of your experiences. That means whatever you're thinking, whatever is in your thoughtmosphere, that the soul is projecting it out into your world so that you might experience it, so that you might know yourself in a particular way, so that God as you may know yourself in a particular way. And Deepak shares that when you close your eyes, you have thoughts, and these thoughts are based on past experiences, memories, desires, and your imagination. And you create a story around these thoughts. You live out that story in your life. So the soul is the source of your life. Now, this part really is in alignment with the science of mind. And I'm going to share that definition. I feel like now I need to share that definition. It was a little bit later here, but I'm going to share that with you because what he's saying is very similar to our belief. So the science of mind definition of soul is soul. And this, by the way, is found in the back of the Science of Mind textbook. I happen to have I happen to have this leather-bound version, which has the concordance in the back, and there's a glossary in the back. So I highly recommend that version of the book. And the definition in the glossary for soul is this: the creative medium of spirit, the subjective side of life, the mirror of mind. For it reflects the forms of thought which are given it. Man's soul life reenacts the soul life of the universe. Soul is subjective because it takes the thought of conscious mind and acts upon it. Its nature is subjective and it cannot analyze or reject. It can only carry out the orders given it. Infinite in its power and ability to do so, but not knowing what it does. So the soul within us, and going back to Deepak and what Deepak Chopra said, you have thoughts and you create a story around the thoughts and then you live out the story in your life. That's what the soul is doing. And so we have the opportunity to get beyond this, the negativity, and heal our lives so we can heal what's happening in our minds and in our subconscious so that we can clear the path for the soul. And the soul, like the deepest place within you, wants to live and shine and rise and elevate and be the best version of you ever. In fact, it is the best version of you ever. But we've got soul, and then we've also got this movement that I call ego. People get confused about ego, but there's a movement in consciousness called ego, and that's personality. And so we have our soul, or we are a soul, and we've got this personality, and the personality is moving and as ego, right? And sometimes that ego gets bruised or damaged, and then it creates constructs, and then it blocks things, and then we've got all these barriers, and the soul is like wanting to get out and do its thing. It wants to get out and shine. It wants to write a book. It wants to do some podcasting. It wants to produce some healing heart TV stuff. It wants to do some artwork, write some songs, right? It wants to do all of this, but the ego gets in the way and it's like blocking the flow. And so that's what I'm talking about when there's healing that needs to occur. So we can heal that stuff so that the soul can come through and shine. It wants to shine as me. It wants to shine as you. And it feels really good when you let it shine. I think that's where they got that song, This Little Light of Mine, I'm gonna let it shine, right? I will not be singing again. Sorry about that. But that's it. That's your soul, this little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. I'm not going to block this light. I'm done blocking the light. No more. Right? We're so over that. Wow, I got a little passionate there. That's my soul shining through just for you. So, the seat of the soul, I believe, is that polished mirror. It's the sunshine of the spirit that lives within you, that is you. We are each candles in the sun, right? So, if you imagine the universal sun, it's this one big giant light, and we are each candles in that light. And that light cannot shine without our light. And so the seed of the soul is the sunshine of the spirit and you. It's the soul that is you. Are you with me?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So you don't have a soul. You are a soul. I love this quote. You don't have a soul. You are a soul. This quote is actually attributed to British author and theologian C.S. Lewis. And you may remember him as the author of the Chronicles of Narnia, more commonly known as The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, one of my favorite movies or books as a child. And then I watched the movie later as a grown-up. It's actually written in an article, or it was actually written in an article for Quaker Magazine by a George MacDonald. You don't have a soul, you are a soul. And so people have attributed it to C.S. Lewis incorrectly, which reminds me of the Benjamin Franklin bumper sticker that says fake quotes will ruin the internet. And then Benjamin Franklin supposedly said that. I don't think so. I'll be here all day. Yeah. So, nevertheless, it's a powerful statement. You don't have a soul. You are a soul. Let's not be mistaken. So, that subtle shift in thinking, oh, I have a soul, into I am a soul. I have a body. Like there's a soul. This soul that's in me wants to radiate out. It wants to be amazing. This soul wants to be bold and bright and brilliant and a best-selling author. And I have this body, right? The soul, thankfully, though, there is this body because the soul wouldn't be expressing without it. So you don't have a soul, you are a soul. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. That's what that means. You're a spiritual being. You're a soul having a human experience. This means that the soul is eternal. It's that part of you that never dies, right? So the soul will go on. The body will get left behind at some point, but this soul will continue on. We don't know how or what because it's beyond our scope of thinking and understanding at this time. So you're not a physical being having a spiritual experience. You're a soul. It is your eternal nature, your core identity. So repeat after me. I am a soul. I have a body.
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 One more time. I am a soul. I have a body.
I am a soul. I have a body.
And so it is.
So it is.
Thank you. I am an eternal soul living in a temporary body. This body right here, right now. I was birthed into existence for a reason and a purpose. Expand your mind to that level. Rise up to that. Step out of the shell of your old belief and your old stories of anxiety and fear, which no longer serve you and aren't even close to the truth of who and what you are. Step out of that and into this great world of Technicolor, this amazing version. Step into the new you, this freer, fuller, more expansive version of you that you came here to be. So if the soul is as Deepak described it, based on your memories of the past and imagination, and you had a rough childhood, or maybe you had some traumatic experiences, let's heal that. Let's heal that. God wants you to live a life of love, joy, peace, harmony, wisdom, bliss, abundance, not one of despair, woe is me, that is anxious and nervous all the time. So let's heal that. Well, how do you heal that, you may ask? I'm so glad you asked. That'll be another day. No, tune in next week for how to heal that. This soul has jokes today too, right? Being silly. So heal it, which simply means reveal more God in the situation. Shine the light of truth upon it. Heal that, which means feel it and then recognize that it's not the truth of who you are. It's an experience that happened, and you're through creating the universe of your experiences with that past experience. There's so much more for you to do, my friends. There's so much more good to be had in your life. So then you'll use your imagination to dream of, contemplate, meditate on, pray about, visualize, journal, and share with your friends a brand new story. This is a key one. Share with your friends a brand new story. Because we share a lot with our friends, don't we? Call up our friends, or maybe we email our friends. And those things matter. So what you speak about, you bring about. What you think about, you bring about. And what you speak about, you bring about. Speaking and sharing it brings it into the world, right? It brings that into your reality. And so speak what you want to bring into your reality, and it will be done. Well, this is so good. I'm getting excited here. All right, you don't have a soul, you are a soul. Let it rise up. Let that soul rise up. And I want to share with you this. I heard this from Dr. David Bruner, who actually got it from, I think, Reverend Dr. Kathy Ann Lewis on a retreat. But just want to give props to them for this. Rise up, my soul, and heal the sick wherever I walk. Show people how to be strong. Make people love God. Quicken me with heavenly fervor. Show me the finished kingdom through which I walk. Show me the words that make the world glad and sane. And our soul will answer, I can do all that and more. Rise up, my soul. Now, do you guys remember this prayer? Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I shall die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. Yikes. That's a children's prayer. I said this prayer regularly as a little girl, and eventually I started adding thank yous, like thank you for this, thank you for that, I'm so grateful, and blessings, like I would name, please bless my mom and my dad and my brother and like everyone I knew, my teachers' names and all of that, right? And whoever I had come across that day. But it's fascinating to me that there it was at this very young age, a little teeny tiny hint dropped, or a small groove that was carved into mine that would continue to be developed over the years. And that is, if I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. What that means to me right now, today, is that I am a spiritual being having a human experience. In other words, I am a soul with a body. If my body doesn't make it through this night, my soul will continue on because it is eternal. Now, I think as a young child, I didn't have any idea what it meant. But some would say that if I should die before I wake, this soul will go on, and it will either ascend to heaven or descend into hell, where it will also stay for all of eternity. The commonality here is that the soul is eternal. So in our teaching in the science of mind, we view all of life as God, so there could be no hell. The terms heaven and hell are symbolic of what each individual creates in his or her own life. We find heaven when we live from our hearts, know our oneness with God, and are true to ourselves. This deep inner peace, which has been written about throughout the ages, is heaven. Hell, on the other hand, is the inner pain we feel when our lives and experiences seem to be against us. In reality, nothing can be against us when we understand the basic unity of all of life. We always have the power to change our thinking, and this alone lifts us from any hell-like experiences into heaven on earth. So, Back to that child's prayer. Back then, it was a plea to have my soul ascend to heaven. I don't say that prayer anymore because I know this little soul, which I am, is eternal, while the body is not. The soul is here on purpose. So people are wanting to experience less anxiety and have a closer relationship with the God of their understanding. And I looked up the word anxiety in my Science of Mind textbook, and there's only 4 or 5 mentions of that word and in the entire Science of Mind textbook. So I found what I was looking for on page 244, which is chapter 14 on physical perfection. And it goes like this: as we come to realize that thoughts are things, we shall also see the different kinds of thoughts will produce different types of effects. For we must not forget that what we call our thought is really the place where we are using creative mind itself. Our thought is creative not because we will it so, but because it already is so. We cannot change this nor escape from its effects in our lives. Consequently, we see that certain thoughts would depress, while other thoughts would exalt. We do not deny that people suffer from this or that cause, but if you have anxiety, you should incorporate thoughts of peace, poise, and power. Your nerves react immediately to a state of harmony. Train your mind to contemplate the good, the enduring, the true. Whatever has caused anxiety, depression, or discouragement must be neutralized by your refusal to allow it to register. So, friends, you become like spiritual Teflon. Those thoughts slide right off of you as you realize that the spirit within you manifests as perfect harmony and that every cell, atom, and organ in your body is functioning according to divine law. Say to yourself, I am filled with the peace, strength, power, and decision of spirit. The life forces flow freely, peacefully, and harmoniously through every atom of my body. I am complete and perfect now. This all-powerful mind of the indwelling spirit in me dissolves and dissipates from my mind all belief in decision, anxiety, depression, and discouragement, for I dwell in the realm of peace. I have faith, I am faith, I abide in faith. All doubt and fear have left me. I have complete confidence. I do not waver or falter in my faith, for I know that God, the living spirit, is the only presence there is or ever can be. So we're coming up to 11 o'clock here. So with all of that, this is the divine urge, my friends. Your soul awakened. The past is swallowed up in the victory of a perfect present, which is filled with love and perfection. Your life right now is filled with love and perfection. You've got to see it. You've got to start to pay attention to it. Be more interested in that than the anxiety. It is the divine urge. So I love what Neil Donald Walsh wrote in his children's parable, The Little Soul and the Sun. If you don't have this book, it's a quick read and it's so beautiful. But Neil Donald Walsh says, you are like a candle in the sun. You are there with the sun along with a cajillion other candles who also make up the sun. The sun would not be the sun without you. How do you know yourself as the light when you are amidst the light? Since you cannot see yourself as the light, when you are in the light, we'll surround you with darkness. Isn't that so true, right? And then our journey becomes to remember who we really are in the midst of that darkness, God in form. So the soul is about your highest and best self. The seat of the soul is your God self. It is the self that was before and will continue on after this physical body. And so it is the highest place within you. It is your God self. It is the thing that wants to shine through and as you, and it is magnificent. So let's let go of our bloated nothingness on this beautiful day and continue to take the time daily to become still and know your divinity with God, spirit, life itself. Know the unique fingerprint of your soul is the power and presence of life itself, and it knows the way to unfold your highest good. It really does. It's within you, and it's just waiting for you to say yes. So take the time to train your mind, feel your feelings, trace them back, replace them with thoughts that make you glad and happy. You didn't come here for such a time as this during this pandemic to be anxious or experience anything other than your spiritual magnificence. You came here to shine. You came here to radiate your brilliance out to all. And so let's be that. Let's all together rise up and take a stand and say yes to our spiritual magnificence. Who's with me?
Oh yeah.
You with me?
Oh yeah.
I can't hear you.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. Remember to stay awake and let's pray. So, turning our attention inward, once again, we return to this beautiful, expansive space within. This is the space where I know that God is all that there is. This is the space of the soul. And this soul knows that there's only one thing happening. It identifies with the thing itself. It identifies with the cosmic unity, with the planets. It identifies with everything and everyone because it knows that there is no separation. It knows that it is a light in the sun, and one candle brings light, and it knows that all the other candles are also required. And so each of us in this moment sets down our bloated nothingness. We just put it down, put it on the shelf. It'll be there when we come back. You know, if we want to go back and pick it up, we can. And that is the bloated nothingness of thinking you're not good enough, or thinking that I'm anxious, or I need to suffer, or I am not enough anything, right? We've got to untie those knots and let them go, allow them to be dissipated back into the nothingness from whence they came, because they are not needed where we are going. We have signed up. We are on a soul journey, each of us, and the soul has a contract, and the contract is is good for eternity. And so we're just along for the ride, and it's a good ride. It's a magnificent journey, filled with playful goodness and laughter. And we replace any anxiety or feelings of depression or stagnation with playfulness and joy, and this giddiness of knowing that there is something greater happening right here and right now. And so as I step into this magnificence, as I step into and out of that shell of disbelief or fear, lack, limitation, and step into the shining light that is the soul, I let it shine. I let the light shine. I shine it out to the world. I shine it out here. I shine it out in my living situation, in my life, in my family. I shine it to my friends. I shine it out on Facebook. I shine it to Instagram and Twitter. If I'm a musician, I shine it out through my music. I'm just shining. I am the sunshine of the Spirit. This soul, this little soul of mine, I'm going to let it shine. And it is a soul. Thank you, Spirit, for reminding me of who I am. Thank you for reminding me that I am a soul with a body. I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. It makes you go, wow, we've got work to do. We got to stop letting those things drag us out of our magnificence. We've got to stop letting it distract us from our good. And we do exactly that. And so, for the rest of this day, I know that as we go forward from here, we're shining that light. That if a thought of the bloated nothingness comes up, we can just laugh it off and go, ha, 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 ha. There you are, and you have no power over me. Sorry, bloated nothingness, you have no power over me. I take dominion in my life. And with that, a great healing occurs. a great healing occurs, and the ego that has been creating a sense of separation is healed because it has been revealed God. It has been revealed that it is part of the human experience and that the soul is much more mighty and powerful than it. And it takes the back seat, surrendering to the soul, to surrendering to the highest and best good, surrendering to the spiritual magnificence that is here right now as me, as you. I'm so grateful. I'm so filled with love for this. And I speak my word now for all of our essential workers and all of those who are going to work and on the front lines and hospitals and grocery stores, the pharmacists, the construction workers and gardeners, and everyone and anyone who is on those front lines doing the work while we get to stay home. I get to stay home, and I'm so blessed and grateful for that. So take a moment today and be blessed and grateful for that too. And if you happen to be one of those essential workers, thank you. Thank you. From the deepest place within me, this little soul thanks you. Thank you, my loves. Thank you for being who you are, and thank you for letting the bloated nothingness dissipate so that you can shine. And we take our shiny little selves out into the world. It's a good day. It's a magnificent day. It is a beautiful, bright, holy day. And I am grateful. Feeling that appreciation and gratitude and love, I send this prayer out into that loving and creative action of the law where I know it is done. Thank you, Spirit, and so it is.
That was so amazing, Rev. Thank you so much. Beautiful. So I'm going to leave you guys with this meditative exercise. We talk about getting our bloated nothingness out of the way. And the best way to do that, well, a good way to do that, is to breathe. Just breathe and then laugh, as the Rev said. So let's do it. I don't want to give words to this. Anything you have to interpret will only eclipse the heart of it. I just want to send it in sound with a wavelength clarity. Ooh. Nothing I could ever say will resonate the same way that this love does in me. Inhale, exhale, breathe. We all breathe with me? Let's do it together. Ready? Somewhere in the beat of your heart, there I am. Somewhere underneath all the war-torn believing, there you have always been. It's something like a melody, it's something like a song, and it sings itself and it's never wrong. Ooh, everywhere it plays for me, it's always on repeat. It's the love song of everything. Inhale, exhale, breathe. Ready? Again. It's not just there in my body, It's not just there in the thoughts that I think. It's there in the roots, in the skies and the seas, in the eyelids, the irises, the wind and the wings, in the will be, the ever was, the reason and the just because. I am the song that I sing. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe. A few more deep breaths. Ready? Here we go. Deep, deep.
Yeah. Woo! Spirit Bankers. Thank you. Oh my goodness. We're so grateful that you were here with us today. Everyone, you can check out her music at jessiepowersmusic.com. And Gina is sending the info across the bottom here now. So we'll post more information about you, Jessie, on our Facebook page too, and make sure people have access to purchase your music. It is so beautiful. I know I'm going to get out there and and shop today. And thank you again for being here with us. You're so amazing. We're so grateful and blessed. I'm
Thank
so happy that
you.
you joined us.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Yeah, and we look forward to getting you in person.
Yeah, and I'll be there at the little coffee thing after, so we can all chat then too. I'll join that.
Oh, fun. Thank you
I
so much. All right,
Yeah.
honey. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, it's now time for our gifts, tithes, and offerings. And before we move into our affirmation, I just wanted to let you know that we're so grateful for the ongoing gifts. Gina has posted the PayPal link on the comment section there, and we're just so blessed by your donations, and it helps continue our operation while we're not there, and we'll be looking forward to having a center to return to when we get back that is all caught up on its mortgage payments and paying, of course, the power bill and gas bill is going to be lower, which is nice, but it's still present, right? And so we're looking forward to seeing you soon. And now we can go with the offering affirmation. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift.
From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift.
I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper.
I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper.
It is evidence of my faith and my belief.
It is evidence of my faith and my belief.
It does great work in the world.
It does great work in the world.
And returns to me multiplied abundantly.
And returns to me multiplied abundantly.
And so it is.
And so it is.
So thank you again, beloveds, for taking the time to make a donation to us. And also, I wanted to let you know that we are blessed to have received some funding from the Small Business Association. We did get a direct deposit. If you weren't able to attend the April 26th annual membership meeting, we got a direct deposit from them, so that's helpful. And we also received a direct deposit for the payroll protection program. And so we have some breathing space, and we're happy about that. And your donations continue to help us stay in operation. So thank you again. And now I'll go into our benediction. So won't you know with me that you are never alone, that God is where you are right now and always, and all that you ever need do is look within. And it is here you will find you are guided, sustained, directed, and inspired by a source that knows only good. Joyously let us make use of these gifts in all that we think, in all that we say, and in all that we do. Please repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening as me right now.
Something wonderful is happening as me right now.
It is this thing called life.
It is this thing called life.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my pocketbook.
Life is in my pocketbook.
I think it.
I think it.
I feel it.
I feel
I
it.
believe it.
I believe it.
I express it.
I express it.
I accept it.
I accept it.
Just the way that it is.
Just the way that it is.
And just the way that it is not.
Just the way that it is not.
Thank you, life.
Thank you, life.
Woo! We'll see you in Zoom, beloveds. See you in Zoom. Love you. Have a
Thank
great
you, everyone.
day.
Bye.
Eugenia.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Jessie. Woo!
See you in a few.
All right.